Okay, the next key tip that I want to talk about with using wood as a sustainable resource is your ability to find wood. Now I'm panning here. This is an area where we have cut a lot of our wood. It's basically right down the road from where we live, which is great. We can harvest wood, of course, off of our own property, but we can also harvest it right down the road. And you can see this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous spot. What happens in this neck of the woods is many trees fall. They either die and they fall, or they get struck by lightning. All that's game. And you can see the beautiful, look at this, logging road that I'm on. So it's very, very accessible. If you are serious about going off the grid, if you really are looking at wood for your renewable resource, and people, I'm telling you right now, you better start burning wood and you better get a setup. But number one, scout out where you're going to get that wood. If you can get it on your own property, that is awesome. But you don't want to take all that resource off of your property if you can actually go down the road and harvest it, if that is available. So before you even buy that, so what you want to do is go down to your local Forest Service. Ask them about harvesting wood in your area, because obviously each area is going to be a little different. Now that's the first thing that we did when we moved here. Actually, even before we moved here, we wanted to see what the availability of wood would be in our backyard. $15 permit is all we had to purchase, and then we could take out so many loads. People, it was a lot of loads. So for 15 bucks, we did the math. It was worth us harvesting our own wood. And the beauty of it, of all of it, is that we got to harvest it out here. And most of the places that we wanted to harvest the wood were accessible by wonderful logging roads like this, and just an abundance of wood. Now, of course, you're going to have to go on a scout-a-thon. That's the other thing. It's not like you can just go out there and pick a tree. Most of the time in these national forest areas where they allow you to harvest wood, you're looking for dead trees. Now you see this tree over here? Right there, that's game. I'm surprised my husband hasn't gotten that one. That is a tree that can be harvested. So sometimes when you move to a new area, you become familiar with the woods and where you're going to be harvesting that. So you may be asking, how do I know though when I get out in the woods where I can cut? Well, the U.S. Department of Interior, the Bureau of Land Management, makes it really easy to figure out where you need to cut. They will post these no firewood cutting signs, and you can contact the BLM office if you have any questions. So when we come up here, we kind of already know we can cut and harvest wood on this side, but then when we come up this way and we see a sign like this, we just know anywhere up past this area is going to be inaccessible for us. So it really takes the guesswork out. They do a really good job at posting, even in the middle of nowhere. You'd be surprised where the BLM people are. They're out in the wilderness making sure they mark off those areas. So just the other day while we were doing our run up this long, lengthy hill, we met a fellow who was actually doing that, harvesting wood. And this tree had fallen and was laying pretty darn, as you see, pretty darn close to the edge of the road, which is a great find for him. And he took all of that stuff from up there and cut it, rolled it down, left this because, you know, there's not much wood there. He got himself a nice truck haul of wood. So that is the beauty of having that renewable resource. You can scout your area and you might hit the jackpot and get one that's right close to the road. If not, having the right equipment is going to be the next priority. Having those wenches, having those come-alongs, all important, and I'll probably do another video on the equipment that it takes to harvest wood. And every place is a little bit different. As you see, we have terrain to deal with here. So cables and come-alongs and winches and all that stuff, really, really important in mountain wood harvesting. You may be in an area that is flat. Like when we lived in Wisconsin, harvesting wood was pretty darn easy. You may not need as much equipment, but we will touch on that in another video. But just to be prepared when you are preparing yourself to go off the grid and use this as a sustainable, renewable resource of heat. So real quickly, when you do get your permit and you're out scouting for those trees, if you don't find anything fallen, you're going to have to learn how to recognize a tree that you can cut. And I want to just hone in here. Maybe you guys already know how to do this, but if you see, look at this, there's a tree way back there and that the bark is peeling off. That tree needs to be cut. So you look at all the other trees here.
Snap off behind it.
Oh, and there's this, oh yeah, there's a snap off behind it too. I don't know if you guys can see that. But that's what we do when we come out looking for trees to harvest. We will kind of scan, and my husband is always looking at the horizon for trees, whatever area that we're in, because snap-offs, dead trees, the forest department, BLM, whatever you want to call it, allows you to harvest those trees. And that is going to be part of your arsenal to get good at finding those trees, picking them out, and yep.
When people are looking for trees, all the woodcutters are looking on the uphill side. And why is that? Because it's way easier to get the log to roll, to bring it down the hill.
That's a good point.
So this stuff is a lot of it's picked over, and I'm surprised somebody hasn't gotten these too, but I'm gonna get those. I do a lot of looking on the downhill side.
Oh.
Because nobody wants to bring wood up the hill.
Right.
So you'll find a lot more. Obviously you have to work harder for it, but there's a log laying right over there.
Oh, right.
And I'm sure it's a good log because nobody wants to go get it because it's downhill.
And I was just talking about, that's where the equipment comes in. Having the winches and the come-alongs. All of that is a good investment for your homestead.
That one will be easy to get out. I'll hook a cable onto that one there.
Okay.
And I'll hook it up to my truck. I'll pull that right up to the road here.
Yep. So cool. That's what you have to consider when you are looking at harvesting your trees for firewood. Good advice, Mr. Hilder. Thank you for chiming in. Because he is trust me, while you've seen our homestead and all the wood gathering that Mr. Hilder has done, and all by hand, just a lot of hard work. And yes, there may come a time when you get older and you're not able to get out there as much and use just raw physical, but that's where
I want to tell you, I want to mention real quick my one friend I miss greatly, old timer back in Wisconsin, Jimmy Wagner. Guy's born and raised in the beginning of time. This guy's an old logger. He's told me more stories. He's 70, he's in his later 70s. When we left, the guy was still cutting and splitting wood by hand. That guy's my hero. That's all I want to be like.
Jimmy Wagner.
Jimmy Wagner.
Jimmy Wagner. And as the dogs are getting the squirrel, these guys, they're crazy. This is live action, people, when we do our videos, no editing. And another point too, yes, we not mental health issues. That could
we already know we have those.
Yeah. Physical health issues obviously could become an issue on any homestead, but as long as we're healthy and we're able to get out there and harvest the wood, we are going to do so. And when the time comes when we're not able to harvest the wood, then yes, we're going to have backup plans in a place. But we still know people here in the Panhandle we're friends with. Our other friend is 80.
My other friend
How old is he?
that I've met, I've just got to know him, and we're becoming very good friends quickly. He's in his 70s too.
No, I think he's 80.
No,
oh,
Klaus
is he?
Is only 74, I think.
Oh, okay.
He just quit splitting wood 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Another guy, my
Yeah.
hero.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him wood this
We
year.
got a lot of heroes. And that's the other thing, living in a community where, you know, my husband's going to be helping him out with wood
Yeah, I'm
this
gonna
year.
help him out.
Yeah.
You
So
know, the thing-
that's important too.
And the thing is, with the wood, I'll get the wood there for him, and so forth, and we'll help him get it split. This is not a race,
Right.
so don't kill yourself.
We do this all year.
You know, I ache and all like everybody else. Take your time within your capabilities, and finish the race. You know, the goal is to get the load of wood out and be ready to go. Take your time, like the old guy I was telling you about in Wisconsin. He sits down on the stump, takes his break, splits some more wood,
Yeah.
cuts some more, takes his time. It's an all-day
Yeah.
funness for him. He loves doing it.
Keeps them young.
It's the passion.
Yes. Yes. All right. So that is one of our many wood tutorials for you people who are serious about going off the grid and looking at self-sustainable homesteads and using wood. Using wood. We can't advocate that enough.